Well, we'll have more reaction to come to that story throughout the morning, but let's get rest of the morning's news now with Charlotte.
Thank you, Mark. Good morning. Gordon Brown will mount a fight back against the Tory promise to scrap the proposed increase in national insurance this morning.
And thank you for that. We'll be updating people on the Masters, of course, as it gets on. Hello, good morning. You're watching Sunrise this Thursday with me, Mark Longhurst. We're live through until 9 o'clock. Still to come, the papers with James. Good morning.
Good morning.
We shall see in a moment, and we'll get the rest of the news with Charlotte as well. But first, let's update you on more details on that, of course, as they come through. But let's get the rest of the day's news too with Charlotte.
Thanks, Mark. A damning report has called for an urgent overhaul of how foreign doctors are employed as GPs in the NHS. The Health Select...
Diamond Geezer now for the papers. Here's James. Good morning to you.
Is that diamond?
Diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Yeah.
Really?
As they say.
Wax and everything else. And if you want to have a go at somebody, presumably
This is BNP territory, which can get very murky in terms of election campaigning.
And that's what it's doing. It's trying to stir up the vote.
I think a lot of women are interested in that, but these wives are seen as an asset. At least they add a bit of humanity.
So I want people to text, Twitter or email you today and call politicians' wives. Pags? I don't know. So my uniform's not turned up. And
I still haven't got my bike.
You know, and everybody wanted to be a patrolman because they all wore really... Do you remember the gloves with the gauntlets?
Yeah, and a peaked... I mean, it was almost like a military uniform, wasn't it, the early one?
Can't we bring that back?
But, I mean, the issue is, everyone will be sort of, you know...
Are you trying to just even this up as well?
Well, political balance, indeed, yeah. OK, and a mirror fair moment. How about just taking some flowers and...
That's a very good idea. What a great idea.
Yeah?
You thought of that? Yeah, we wish we thought of that. That's a very good idea.
Go and have a look at the wives and see what you can make up for next time.
Which wives? All three.
All three. Thank you. Right now, the rest of the day's news, though, with Charlotte.
Thanks, Mark. A security alert was sparked overnight in the United States after a man was suspected of trying to detonate a shoe bomb on board a passenger plane. 2 F-16 fighter jets intercepted the United Airlines jet and the plane landed safely. So there we go.
Best friend and all that.
Exactly.
Thank you very much indeed. Let's take a look at the front page. Good morning. You're watching Sunrise this Thursday with me, Mark Longhurst. We're live with you through till 9 o'clock. Still to come, a review of the morning papers with James and what we're going to call all those politicians' wives.
And we've had a...
However, all to come. First, though, this morning, more discussion to come on that this morning. First, though, let's get the rest of the news with Charlotte.
Thanks, Mark. A security alert was sparked overnight in the United States after a man was suspected of trying to detonate a shoe bomb on board a passenger plane.
Bit of spare.
If you're paying that, you should probably get those as well, shouldn't you?
How can one bit of rock be worth that amount of money? So what? Could you not think of anything better to spend a couple of million on than something to stick on your little pinky?
It'd be lovely if you had a few million spare.
I think you're going to lose this argument,
Yeah.
James.
Do you think so?
Possibly comment, because my wife will...
I mean, if you could get, you know, a few quid, go and buy a few diamonds.
I was going to say, probably not quite enough.
There are
we are.
some people, though, who are trying to find a job and are probably desperate and would need those benefits, so you can't say that everybody...
No, there are some people...
Every young person
there are some people who nobody will employ. There are, not even young, but there are people who know for lots of interviews.
Journalists, broadcasters,
those sort of people. Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. Levels of care that are better than private hospitals. Now, I suggest, and I keep on the nasty... And then...
Wards as well, who knows?
15 to a cell. That's what it should be in whale world. You know, people getting very upset that you might have to...
So you think it's a good idea people should pay on an aircraft to go to the loo?
Absolutely. I think if you want anything extra, you pay for it. Do you know the worst thing? The worst thing, as soon as you're on an aircraft, it takes off. What do most people do? Run.
Flyers. Maybe they need regular trips to the loo.
What happens if you're, you know, delayed? You should never take your mother-in-law on holiday.
Well, if you have a medical problem, you could end up with a huge bill.
What about if you have to get... You know, if you could find a loo somewhere, if you want to go to the loo, pay for it. OK, that's... So I obviously, I was giving you that. Did we get any MPs' wives?
Nice try.
We got lots. I'm not sure if we've got time for them now.
Nice fly.
Thank you so much.
We'll have to do them later.
Yeah, enjoy them. We've got more reaction to come to that, but let's get an update now on the rest of the morning's news. Here's Charlotte.
Mark, thank you. Within the last hour, British Airways and Iberia have signed an agreement approving a merger between the two airlines. BA says it expects the deal to be complete.
As you would.
Of
if
course.
you paid that amount of money.
If you had that amount of money to spend on a diamond.
Thank you so much. At Prague Castle. Thanks for the moment. Rest of the day's news now with Charlotte.
Thanks very much, Mark. A damning report has called for an urgent overhaul of how foreign doctors are employed as GPs in the NHS. The Health Select Committee...
Thank you very much indeed. Another day of campaigns. Very much back to you, of course, later. But let's talk sport now, because we're all out of Europe.
Yeah, that's it. It's over for the...
As Alex
yeah, to quote Sir Alex.
Yeah, indeed. Now, what are we going to call all these politicians' wives? Several suggestions from emails.
We have had a lot of suggestions. I'll get through as many as I can. Jonathan Garber says poll wags, politicians' wives and girlfriends. Darren Lacey says womps, wives of MPs. Jay Rainey says, how about pops, partners of politicians? And Anthony Howe says swags, significant wives of aspiring gentlemen servants.
I've got an even better one. Not indoors, but outdoors. Thank you very much. Stay with us here on Sunrise.